Okay, Tanner, this is Tanner Tuckow with MTech Roofing Systems, and I'm going to go ahead and just start my roof inspection video. I've not inspected the whole roof, but I've seen a lot of things, so I'm just going to point out all the things that I've seen as I go along. First things first is when I got up here, I actually did start seeing wind damage and just shingles. You can tell how brittle this shingle is. Whenever you start seeing that fiberglass, that's generally telltale signs that it's at the end of its life expectancy. I've also seen some stuff like this where this was sealed, so this was probably a problem at one point. Stuff like this right here is definitely not what you want to see. I don't know why they did that or why they even sealed the bottom of this siding here unless they just didn't flash it. There's a couple things that I've seen as of like, why do they do it like this? Like they cut out the siding here. I don't know if it's because it's an add-on, and then they just put they didn't stagger the siding, they just kind of put it in a straight line and then put some caulking over it. Stuff like that. As far as the components, they're not in bad shape. Seeing a little bit of rust in nail heads. I don't think those are a big problem. One thing that I've seen with the hardy board siding is because this is touching that siding, and this is probably why they sealed it, it's starting to fray this siding and wear the paint out. You can see there's a crack right there, and then all the way down. So I'd say you got 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 boards that are partially damaged. I'd say these bottom 3 boards are definitely have seen better days. And then as far as the flashing, I can see flashing down here. However, I'm not sure how this is installed. It seems like you're not having any issues from that, so that's a plus there. Right here, you got a little exposure hole. If we rebuilt this roof, of course, we'd extend drip edge to this gap and it would cover that up. I'm gonna go ahead and get up to this next section. Again, this flashing, I don't know why they did it the way they did it, but they did it this way. At least they add a kick out to where it runs off on the next roof. And then a couple things. This corner board right here is worn out. Something's chewed away at it. The sealant has worn off, and you're starting to see issues with the siding here. You can see there's holes in here. If I had to guess, this is probably where a satellite dish was put up at one point or something. Maybe a lightning pole or some sort of something up here that was fastened to the siding, and that's why you're seeing that. Right here, you can see they sealed this up, and that's because this is not the right installation. It should have what they call a zipper boot, or a boot that clamps in and doesn't need sealant to, to sealant all around this pipe to prevent water from coming in. Up on the top slope, taking a look at your components, your power attic fan, you got another one over here. You've got 4 pipe boots or 3 pipe boots, 2 HVAC, and then 1 turtle vent. And one thing that I have noticed as I'm walking up this roof is this plywood is very spongy in certain areas. I don't know if it's just because the rafter spacing or could just be that it's weakened in some areas. But I have seen some wind damage up here. You got 3 right here. And then certain areas like this, that's just where the rafter, maybe a nail has come out of the rafter, because I can tell there's a rafter right here, and maybe a nail has come out of that rafter pushing that shingle up. These right here are shingles that were high nailed. So if I were to lift this shingle up just like that, you can see there's not even a nail on this side, and that's why it's sliding out, is because there's no nail keeping it up on this side. And if I had to guess, the same thing goes for this shingle as well. Gutter guards are definitely old, but they seem to be doing good. No debris built up in the front, maybe a little bit, but that's to be expected. A lot of debris building up in this corner, which could become a problem. You got a couple more wind crease shingles up front right here. Do I think it's enough to warrant through insurance? To be honest, with Allstate, it'd be a fight, even if you had 100 shingles up here. On the rear slope, spongy area right there. On the rear slope, you got 1, 2, 3, probably got several more. If I blew this debris off, you'd probably see more. Here was that spongy area that I seen in the attic. believe it was somewhere around here. I think it was right around here. Yeah, right there. So you got several spongy areas up here. And then back here, a lot of debris built up, which could become a problem in the future for sure. You got to think as much water as there is. And when they did this rolled roofing, so this is called rolled roofing. Nowadays they call it modified bitumen, but back in the day it was rolled roofing because you roll it on. Now it's called modified bitumen because there's a two-part system. You got a base and a cap. The thing about rolled roofing is you should never have exposed nail heads. And you could see that they literally fasten the edges of this roof to the rake with nails, which is not how it should be done. Because now these are leak points. That could very well be why a squirrel has gotten to this area right here. So I see exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, just lift it up. I didn't have to really even try. See, this rolled roofing system is just lifting up. I mean, just straight lifting up here. And it probably does that all the way down. So if we did this, we'd put modified bitumen, which is a base, and that acts as a membrane to the cap that we would install over the base, which would be no nails. And I can promise you this, it would fasten down to the decking. Of course, as much rotted decking that's up here, we'd obviously replace that. But that's majority of what I've seen. There's probably several spots up here that would need to be replaced, whether you wanted to go with full decking replacement or just a partial decking replacement. I would definitely recommend that we take off all the decking that is rotted or any of the spongy decking, just so the job's done right and not inferior. Tanner, I'll get down, show you this video, and we will go from there.